Have you ever pondered about the ancient roots of the Middle East, the cradle of civilization? Imagine a vast fertile expanse, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This is Mesopotamia, where around 5,000 years ago civilization took its first breath. The Sumerians were the first to settle this region, and their influence is impossible to overstate. They did not merely survive in Mesopotamia, they thrived, developing complex social structures and cities. It was in these bustling urban centers that the world's first form of writing, known as cuneiform, was born. But the Sumerians' contributions didn't stop there. They were astronomers, mathematicians, and architects, their ziggurats reaching for the heavens in a testament to their ambition and ingenuity. But as is the way of the world, empires rise and fall. The Akkadians, led by their king, Sargon the Great, would eventually supersede the Sumerians. They expanded their territory, creating the world's first empire, a testament to their military prowess and diplomatic acumen. Following the Akkadians, the Babylonians rose to prominence. Under the rule of Hammurabi, they established one of the earliest written legal codes. The Hammurabi Code, as it's known, was a groundbreaking development in the organization of society and the administration of justice. But the Middle East was far from done making history. The Persians, under Cyrus the Great, built an empire that encompassed 3 continents and over 24 distinct nations. They introduced an efficient system of provincial administration and built a network of roads that facilitated trade and communication. This was not just an empire, it was a sophisticated multinational federation. These early civilizations in Mesopotamia, from the Sumerians to the Persians, were far more than just ancient societies. They were the trailblazers of human civilization, the pioneers of writing, law, government, and so much more. They were the catalysts for the world as we know it today. These early civilizations laid the groundwork for the complex societies that would follow. But what happened when the mighty empires of the Greeks and Romans set their sights on this region? Enter Alexander the Great, a name synonymous with conquest and the spread of Greek culture. Alexander embarked on an unprecedented military campaign through the Middle East in the 4th century BC. He toppled the mighty Persian Empire and established Greek rule, marking the beginning of the Hellenistic period. This was a time of profound cultural exchange as Greek and Middle Eastern civilizations collided, creating a blend of languages, arts, and sciences. The region became a melting pot, where the philosophies of Socrates mingled with the wisdom of the ancient Persians. But the Greek dominance was not to last forever. The torch passed on to the Romans, who, in their pursuit of expansion, set their eyes on the Middle East. By the 1st century BC, the Roman Empire had successfully brought the region under its control. The Romans, much like the Greeks before them, were fascinated by the rich culture they encountered and absorbed elements into their own civilization. They brought with them their law, government, and engineering prowess, leaving behind a legacy of Roman roads, aqueducts, and cities that stand to this day. Yet, it wasn't all peaceful cultural exchange. There were conflicts, uprisings, and resistance. The Jewish-Roman Wars, for instance, were a series of large-scale revolts by the Jews of the Eastern Mediterranean against the Roman Empire. These conflicts were defining moments in the history of the region, shaping the course of events for centuries to come. As the Roman Empire began to decline in the 5th century AD, the Middle East entered a new phase of its history. But the impact of the Greek and Roman periods lingered. The Greek language remained widely spoken, and Roman law influenced legal systems for centuries. The Greek and Roman empires left indelible marks on the Middle East, shaping its culture, language, and architecture. Their influence echoes through the ages, reminding us of a time when the Middle East was at the crossroads of the world's greatest empires. Then, in the 7th century, a new force emerged that would transform the Middle East. Can you guess what it was? That's right, it was Islam. Born in the arid lands of Mecca, Islam began as a spiritual revelation to the Prophet Muhammad. This new monotheistic faith quickly gained followers, spreading like wildfire across the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. From the bustling markets of Damascus to the scholarly halls of Baghdad, Islam left an indelible mark on the region. Under the rule of the caliphs, vast empires were built, and groundbreaking advancements were made in fields such as science, mathematics, literature, and the arts. This period, often referred to as the Golden Age of Islam, was a time of intellectual and cultural flourishing. Islam's rise was more than a religious phenomenon. It was a transformative force that wove itself into every aspect of Middle Eastern life. Islam's rise irrevocably shaped the Middle East, influencing its culture, politics, and society. Fast forward to the 19th and 20th centuries. How did the Middle East transform into the region we know today? The Middle East's modern history is a riveting tale of foreign intervention, industrial revolution, and the struggle for self-determination. The 19th century saw the rise of European colonial powers, each vying for control over the region's strategic trade routes and abundant resources. This period of colonialism brought about profound changes, introducing Western-style governance and education systems, but also igniting a sense of nationalism among the native populations. Then in the early 20th century, the discovery of black gold or oil dramatically changed the region's geopolitical landscape. Suddenly, the Middle East was thrust into the epicenter of global energy politics. Nations that were once impoverished desert kingdoms became some of the world's wealthiest. Their skylines transformed into sprawling metropolises, almost overnight. Amid this whirlwind of change, the formation of modern states was a defining moment. After the fall of the Ottoman Empire and the aftermath of World War I, borders were redrawn and new countries were born. However, these borders, often drawn without regard for ethnic or religious boundaries, have been a source of conflict ever since. And speaking of conflict, the Israeli-Palestinian issue remains one of the most enduring and contentious. Born out of the ashes of the Holocaust, the State of Israel was established in 1948. However, this led to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, igniting a conflict that continues to this day. Despite these challenges, the Middle East is not just a region of turmoil. It's a land of ancient wisdom and youthful vigor, where tradition and innovation coexist. From the glittering skyscrapers of Dubai to the bustling markets of Istanbul, from the technological hubs in Tel Aviv to the renewable energy projects in Saudi Arabia, the Middle East is constantly reinventing itself while remaining deeply rooted in its rich history. Despite its challenges, the Middle East remains a vibrant and dynamic region, deeply rooted in its rich history. So, what have we learned about the Middle East's history? From the birth of civilization in Mesopotamia, to the mighty Greek and Roman empires, the rise of Islam, and the modern transformations, the Middle East's history is a fascinating tapestry of civilizations, empires, and religions. It's a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity to adapt and evolve over time.